Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Phil from Zaid Comics. I'm the writer and co-creator of Magic Cop and The Lost Pages, which is now in demand on Indiegogo and just one half of the two best-looking brothers in all of comics. But we have a rival here, another one half of a set of brothers. We got my boy Clayton from How to Draw Comics. What's up, brother?
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, the Button Bros
Yeah,
and the
that's
Diaz brothers.
yeah, two brothers fighting on the same side of the world. Yeah. Well, actually two
Heck
different sides
yeah.
of the world, but on the same side of this comic industry here. So
Yeah.
super excited to have you on, man. You just launched your huge first new campaign. The first book we're seeing out of you guys, and it is a blast. It looks so sick, man. KOZOR, and we're gonna talk about it today. How are you feeling?
Man, absolutely floored by the incredible positive response that we've received from so many people in just the first day. Like, we met our funding goal in the first hour, and it just kept on building up more and more over the next 24 hours. So, yeah, speechless, man. Just I think more than anything, it's all the support from the Comicsgate community that just
Yep.
blew me away. People that were truly excited about what we were doing, and it's a beautiful thing, man. It really is a
Yeah.
beautiful feeling to see everybody come together and want the best for you. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We got Cygnus 5 says he was backer number 9. Yeah, thanks for that.
Sick. Thanks, man. That's awesome. You're gonna
Yeah.
love the book, by the way. I keep telling people if you're loving what you're seeing in the campaign, just wait until you see this thing in printed form. We're as excited as anybody else, to tell you the truth.
Dude, that's the best, man. And yeah, we're gonna get into the art. Cygnus brings up he's a fan of your channel,
Yeah.
and that's where I first saw you, and a lot of people too, because you had a pretty big channel coming into CG and making yourself known. And before you even had what I heard of like plans to launch something like this, you were just around with your channel and inviting CG people onto your stream, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a great way to have your name around people's ears, was doing stuff like that. So let's talk about how you got into doing YouTube, and a lot about your channel a little bit.
Yeah, totally, man. Well, since I've started bringing people on like yourself, it's been
Mhm.
awesome to just make so many friends. Like, I feel like I know everybody in CG now,
Yeah,
and everybody's really cool. Like, I've met very few, like, I don't know, crazy people. Everybody is super
yeah,
down to earth and just awesome. Like, they're people that would be perfect to go out for a drink with and just chill and talk comic books. So that's been awesome. But I first got into YouTube when I decided to start howtodrawcomics.net, which is my little online business, which initially was created as an offshoot to the teaching I was doing in the classroom at the time. So I was teaching at various universities and stuff around Melbourne in video games courses.
oh,
And
cool.
I really loved doing the concept art side of things and 3D modeling and level design. It was a lot of fun. And I even worked in the games industry for a little while on various projects with different independent companies. And eventually I kind of said to myself, you know what? I love all the 3D modeling. I love all the concept art, but it doesn't challenge me anywhere near as much as creating comic books.
Yeah,
And I really love the art form of comic books. I love the process of penciling and then inking and then coloring it up. And I like the look of it. It was dramatic. It was visually intense, more intense than a digital painting, which was predominantly how I created concept art and digital illustrations. So I said, you know what? I want to make this comic book thing work. So I'm going to train up more in that. That was my first love. I'm going to get really, really good at it, super comfortable. And how to draw comics.net over the years really allowed me to do that, because as I was breaking things down for other people, creating these tutorials on my YouTube channel, it was forcing me to get super analytical and in depth about my own approach, like to properly understand how I work as a comic book artist. And so fast forward to now, it's like it's nothing for me to draw the human figure from any number of different angles or the human face, and I've really captured a nice uh, artistic identity within my art style that I think is comfortable for me to draw out onto the page. So there's been a lot of pros, man. Not just the fact I've built up this YouTube channel, but also that I've built myself up as an artist and developed so much.
Oh, for sure, man. The first time I saw your work was actually concept work for
Oh, cool.
Replicator.
Nice.
And that stuff blew me away. I actually think Rob posted the big guy,
Yeah.
that huge jacked guy, and I'm like,
Goliath.
yeah, he posted Goliath, and I did a tweet reply, and I'm like, yo, who did this art? And he's like, oh, it was Clayton, but he's really busy right now. So I was like trying to don't look at this guy because this guy is
Yeah.
amazing. But totally, those concepts reminded me of concepts I would see for characters in the video game industry. Those are like
Totally.
your awesome detail, like you get the attitude of the character. Even I think the other one was Ghost. Is that the other character?
Yeah, Ghost
Female
was the
character?
other popular one. Yeah.
Yeah, really, really cool stuff. And yeah, your stuff stands out. It is super sleek and I would say modern to a point where it's like, yeah, this is professional level video game concept art. Which I have. I
Thanks,
have a
man.
buddy who does concept art in the game industry. He used to work for NetherRealm Studios and would do a lot of Mortal Kombat
Cool.
and Injustice concept stuff. Yeah, he's super talented as well. But the jump from doing that to comics, he had a lot of trouble with because sequential, he wasn't very used to doing sequential, so he wasn't confident in that, and it was like a whole nother beast for him. But
Yeah.
yeah, but that's if that's your passion, then that's something that you obviously did. You took a step back and worked on that for a long time because
Yeah.
you love that stuff, which I love seeing, man.
Well, it's funny because I think when I worked on a comic book backwards when I was going to uni, so probably when I was about 18, 19, and it was called Sergeant Iron, but it was very early on. It was the only really real comic book project that I'd ever worked on, and it wasn't until like right now, kind of this year, that I decided that I was going to go all in and do my own comic book with Renegade Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Corey's just sitting there, and I said, "Hey, man, we got to get yours out too." So, we kind of collaborated on that, and I helped him touch that up. But Corey was actually very nervous about me jumping into my own comic book because he's like, "Dude, I see you putting out all these pinups and these covers, and you're really, really good at it, but drawing sequentials is a whole different thing."
Yeah.
So I thumbnailed out my entire book, and the funny thing is sequentials have weirdly come to me very naturally because I think, and I could be wrong, I'm a really big fan of movies. Like I watch movies all the time,
Yeah.
and I analyze them. Like I know a lot about what makes a good scene work. And so I'm wondering if maybe that has played a bit of a role in just that natural tendency to be able to compose each and every panel in a way that makes sense. I find it to be a lot of fun, man. I love telling stories with images,
Yeah.
which is what comic books allow you to do.
Of course. No, yeah. And I actually want to play the trailer first before we dive into that. Is that cool?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Trailer, man. This trailer is sweet. And just let me know if you could hear. I have to do this first. Let me know if you could hear the audio here.
Yeah. Yep, I can hear it. Might have to
Sweet.
turn it up a little.
KOZOR Descent into Madness features 43 full-color pages of intricately detailed art that tells a nightmare-fueled story of foul demons, abundant bloodshed, and the insidious corruption of a warrior's psyche. The story centers around a mighty warrior named Chief Barton and his clan of savage swordsmen who embark on a quest into the sacred swamplands of Nimla in search for the mysterious Faceless People, a race of submissive super soldiers who will balance out the odds in a ruthless war between man and demon. But when they're attacked by a flock of flying beasts, their journey proves more fatal than they could have ever imagined. In this campaign, backers get no less than the definitive edition of KOZOR Descent into Madness, which comes complete with refined edits, additional story pages, retouched interior artwork, and new wraparound covers. If you're a fan of dark fantasy and medieval horror, this book is for you. Back KOZOR Descent into Madness today, only on Indiegogo.
Hell yeah, man. That was an awesome trailer. The music's
Thanks,
sick.
man.
No, dude,
Yeah.
this just screams what you guys are selling. This, this dark medieval kind of story. And your cover, man, is just killer. Look at this, guys. This is crazy.
Yeah, thanks.
So
I wanted to do Corey's book justice, so his opinion of it mattered a lot, and I was very relieved when he was blown away by it. So that's all I could hope for.
So you said I was talking with you yesterday on your channel, and you were talking about how much of an inspiration Berserk was for this whole like universe and kind of the storytelling of that. I've just started reading Berserk, and the visuals and how gruesome it is and how brutal that story is. Are we going to see some similarities there in the action as well?
Yeah, I definitely say so. Yeah, there's some blood and guts in this, some shocking scenes, I would say. And I mean, I think this front cover says everything. This dude is like Conan, except far more violent and savage. He's wearing the face of his foe on his head, for goodness sake. So he's a badass. He's got these chains coming down. Maybe if you like fused Spawn and Conan together, this is what you'd get.
So this like helmet was someone's face? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
it was. Wow. It's like this fish sea creature dude that came up against Chief Barron, who you're looking at here, and came out the other side of it worse for wear.
That's awesome. And Dino says, "Look at these nerds, all nerding out." That's
what
we do. That's what we do. Yeah, and the interiors are great as well. I mean, the nightmarish quality that Corey's bringing out here is crazy. I'm excited to see all of the weird, freaky stuff. Just like on this page alone, I'm guessing, leading into here, this is another awesome one. Like
totally, and this is toward the start, so we throw this stuff at you right from the beginning of the book.
No, I dig that, and I love how you just get these. The panels are very stoic in those scenes where you just want to look at it, and that emotion that it gives off just seeps into your mind as you're staring at these panels. Like the zoom in on the eye, it's great storytelling and putting you into a certain mood that you guys want the reader to be in. That's something that I really loved. What Stephen Bissett would do in Saga of Swamp Thing books. He would do these panels like this, leading your mind into a specific feeling. That's just something that I love with kind of like the art of panel layouts.
They're important, man. They're as important as the art itself, almost. Yeah. How you take that shot. It's not just about good drawing.
Wow, look at this. What the hell is this thing? What are we looking at here?
This guy is like the main villain within KOZOR. His name is Magator, and he's kind of like this psychic demon that basically breaks down the mental fortitude of the toughest warriors and takes them as his own for his own bidding. So he's not to be messed with, man. He's one heck of a force to be reckoned with.
Wow, this is insane.
Yeah, badass, right?
Yeah, these just the ideas that are coming out of this book are so grand and so grounded. It's like we're diving into just like a big blockbuster movie, like a huge fantasy that is a story that's centuries old almost, because these characters are so thought out. and they just evoke so much feeling from visually.
Yeah, Corey, he's been thinking about this story for so long. The original version of KOZOR, of this book, was done almost 3 years ago now, and it's been sitting on a shelf, gathering dust, never seeing the light of day. We're the only ones who have had a chance to really read it, and even then, the printed version of it is just loose pages in a plastic slip folder. So for us, when we send this to print, it's going to be so rewarding to actually be able to read it as a proper comic book. But Corey, across all this time, has just been letting that world grow inside his imagination. And in fact, when we fulfill this book, March 2021, issue 2 will be done. It'll be 100% complete, and it's even longer. It's 60 pages.
Wow.
So he'll be on to issue 3 by the time this one is coming out. And so he's got a lot of long-term plans for the series that, I've asked him if he wants to do other things in the future, jump onto other stories. And all that is on his mind is KOZOR, KOZOR, KOZOR.
Good. No, that's great. I'm glad that there's so much done already so he could work on the second one. That gives you guys a leg up for production and getting things out quick. So, the turnaround time, that's great. And that's where we really want to go in CG here, while we're, working and campaigning for the Lost Pages. My brother's already drawing the second volume of Magic Cop. So we're going to be, doing trade-off like that until we can actually catch up and be ahead of the game. That way we could, go Lost Pages, Magic Cop on and off, and have as the littlest amount of wait time for the fans.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's so I'm glad you guys are doing that too. So you could catch up.
Great brothers think alike.
Yeah, for sure. And not only are we going to have this in color, but there is a line art edition. Look at that. Holy crap, man. Yeah, and I was watching you on Frega yesterday talking about this is all digitally inked, this cover.
Yeah, all of my work these days is digitally inked, and
I love
took a long time to be able to do it this way.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard Rob was giving you some hell over that.
Oh yeah, he's always giving me hell, but you know what? In the end, the final result is always worth it. So I just can't let go, man. Like if I end up sacrificing what you're seeing here, it's just not going to be what it is. So
yeah, I was saying too, it makes you stand apart from people. You're putting the time in, and
I'm a slow artist.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of great artists that are slow, and you can't rush them because then you get something that looks like this when you put the time in. And I think it surprises people when they see this and you say it's digital. When I was talking to you and I saw some of your sequentials and they were blowing me away, and I'm like, is this traditional or digital? And you're like, yeah, it's digital. It's great to see, and putting the time in, you definitely get a style too, which is going to set you apart from people. There's a lot of awesome creators in CG that have their own style already, even though they're coming out with their first products, their first books, which is amazing. Oh, look at that too. That looks great also. Damn.
Totally. So that'll be the interiors of this black and white line art edition book. We wanted to shine a spotlight on all the intense detail that Corey implements into his line work. And we thought that this would be the best way to do it. Just release a whole new version of the book, except without the colors.
Yeah, that's so cool. Now, who's doing the colors? Is Corey also doing the colors?
Yeah, so this whole book is, it was obviously written and initially illustrated by Corey.
Right.
For this first printed edition, I'm going in over the top and I'm editing the line art where it needs to be edited and also popping out the colors and just enhancing them a little bit. But predominantly, yes, Corey inked, penciled, and colored this entire book all on his own. So he's a multi-talented dude.
That's awesome. No, that's great. I mean, bringing it out now, I think it's the perfect time.
Thanks, man.
It is such a great idea, and I can't wait to see the stuff you're going to do also, because this is not where it ends. You guys have a big plan.
We do have big plans, man. Obviously, because I am such a slow artist, my book it's in the works. You've seen some of the concept art that I put out for it. I would estimate that it'll be maybe the end of 2021 before we see it. However,
I'm excited, man. We got
thanks.
William C in the chat. Yes, brother power right there.
Yeah.
We got this guy's got my favorite name, Indigenous Monstrosity.
I love that guy.
Monstrosity X. Yeah, he's awesome. He says, Hails 8 Comics, what's up, Phil and Clayton? Good job on Lost Pages and KOZOR. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks to everyone who backed the Lost Pages. We had our final day of 60 days last night. We closed it out on Clayton's stream. It was awesome. Such a great time. And yeah, we're in demand now. So we'll talk about that later before we head off. But yeah,
for sure.
DJ2K. Hail. Yeah, this book looks killer, man. I mean, this brings a whole nother level to CG. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, the young guys are kicking ass too. I gotta tell everybody.
Yeah, man. It's the truth.
Tell everybody.
You're one of those young guys, right?
How old are you, Clayton?
I'm 30.
Yeah. How old are you?
Yeah,
and
I'm
your brother's
30.
young. Your brother's younger than you.
Yeah, Corey is.
Cool.
He must be 26 this year, I think. Yeah, yeah, he's
really
26.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm 26.
He's a young
also,
dude.
I'll be 27.
Oh, no way!
Yeah.
Damn. So you're his age.
Yeah, and yeah, my brother's 5 years older than me, so he's 31.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Even a similar gap between our brothers. That's cool.
I'd say, yeah. There's a lot of brothers in comics or in Comicsgate. We got Vinny and his brother Frankie.
We do, man. Vinny's such a top dude.
Yeah, he's awesome. So another thing I love about your campaign is it's sleek, man. You don't have a bunch of tiers. You're keeping it simple, and yeah, and it's very understandable. So the cool thing I am excited about to see on people's walls are these posters. So tell me about this poster set here with your featured tier.
Man, so in the featured tier, you get 3 posters with the 3 books, and each of those posters are going to showcase the art without the titling, of course, on those books. They're printed out in an A3 size, and if you just click the perk there, it should show you how much that is in inches. So it's 11.7 by 16.5 inches. So it's actually quite big, printed on 300 GSM paper. So it's extremely high quality and shipped to you in one of these really sturdy mailers flat. So this is an A4 size, but it does come in A3 size, and it's very durable, right? These are specially made to ship fine art prints. So we wanted to make sure that if we're going to send you a high quality print like that, that it comes to you 100% flat so that you can frame it or just hang it straight up on your wall, whatever you want to do.
That's perfect, man. Yeah, and so this is the Corey's cover and then your cover.
Yep.
And then the black and white version of that one.
Yeah, the black and white version of the book as well. So.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They come with digital versions, and they're all signed as well.
Yeah, I noticed that you're giving everyone digitals as well, which is really cool. So you could have it on the go if you needed to.
Mm-hmm.
Or
exactly.
like a lot of people won't even open theirs, right? They'll keep it sealed and then they'll read the digital, and then always have that as a collector's item. So that's always an awesome option.
Absolutely.
So these are, go on.
No, you go. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to go to the next perks.
For sure, yeah. So this is just the definitive edition on its own, $25 USD, standard for a Comicsgate book. Comes with the poster, though, of course, except it's A4 size, which means it's twice as small in dimensions as the previous one that I talked about.
Yeah.
And, of course, the poster is going to feature the art on that book. It's signed. You get the digital version. And, yeah, if you're on a bit of a budget and you can only get one book, that is one of our most popular rewards at this time.
For sure, man. Yeah, and then this the cool thing about Corey's cover is it's a wraparound, right?
Yeah, well, mine is a wraparound too.
Oh, it is?
So they're both wraparounds, man. You're going to get kick-ass art on the back, the front, for both of these covers. Like, this is a really high quality book. But what I love about Corey's in particular is his has this really cool H.R. Geiger feel to it.
It
So I'm
does,
kind of
dude. I was
jealous.
gonna say that, man. It's like the I mean, even this character in general, the Magator, he's
Yeah,
totally like a Geiger character.
totally.
Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah.
that's gruesome. And this guy's not having a good day, I don't think.
No, man, you'll see. You'll see what happens in the story. You might be
Oh,
shocked to find
oh.
out who you're
Yeah,
looking
so
at.
if you guys are digging that cover, you can get that, and then the line art variant as well. They
Yeah,
have that is available, which we don't
yeah,
see a lot of campaigns doing that, and I think that is something I want to look into the future, especially with all these awesome artists in CG, and I might do maybe another perk, or maybe if we ever do a second printing, that would be a cool thing for the Lost Pages.
yeah. It's kind of a new thing. It's somewhat uncharted territory. The only other book that I've seen that has a black and white version is Liam Gray's.
Yeah.
And honestly, for Xenotype, like, I actually preferred the black and white. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. I think you got to have great looking line art for it to work, and maybe even a color option available. That could be a must, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
And then if you guys are digging both covers, man, pick them up. You have the combo pack with comes with 2 books, both you
Yep.
and your brother's cover for
Totally.
$50, which is a great deal. 2 books on there, and then
Yeah.
the definitive plus the black and white edition.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
Yep.
I'm digging that. And then this is the one that if you guys love original art, you're going to want to get this one. I was
Yeah.
on stream with you and Corey last night when he was doing these little sketches, which he calls sketches, but
Yeah.
they're not
Which
sketches. They're like,
no, they're
yeah, finished
finished.
pencils. Yeah, they're like hour-long finished pencils of a character. And there seems to be a lot of really cool characters in here. He pulled out like this little frog toxic Avenger your character with a
Yeah, he's
sword on his back.
awesome. I
Yeah,
love that dude.
I'm sure he's going to be one of my favorites. He looks so cool. So this
Yeah.
one comes with a bunch of stuff. You get the Corey's cover, you get the comic, Clayton's cover, black and white edition as well. So it's basically everything. You get digital here as well, and the Corey sketch. There's something else
Yeah.
I'm missing. You want to talk about that cool little book?
So there's actually 4 books that you get with this one. You
Mhm.
get the ones that you mentioned, but you also get the original book,
Right.
which is all Corey's untouched artwork and untouched dialogue, and the original cover that he did up for this book. So this is really an exclusive collector item. We're only printing 50, and anyone who backs this perk, there's a limit of 50, they will be the ones who own that book. So, you know, you should jump onto this one if you're interested in that. It will be very, very rare. We're not
Oh
going to
yeah.
be printing these again, I don't think. But you also get 5 posters with this pack, all of that massive A3 size on 300 GSM. So you get the bookmark, you get the sticker, you get 3 exclusive collector cards. Everything's signed. You get the digital PDF, of course. So it is really a massive package that, yes, appears expensive, but really gives you the value.
Yeah, a lot of bang for your buck in this one. And
Mm.
it's what the second day, and you already have 11 sold on those. So
Yeah. So
that's
there's only like
amazing.
49. No, how many left? No, 39 left.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
That's so cool that you're doing that original like little book, because you get a piece of history there. It's a collector's item.
Yeah,
He was
man.
showing it off. It's put together really, really cool. It's
Mm.
almost, it reminded me almost of like a professional like movie script, right?
Yeah.
You're getting something that it's very sterile. It looks like self-contained, and you could have that out as like on your coffee table for people to look at. It feels very medical to me, which
Yeah,
I
it's special, man. It's very raw, that version of the book.
yeah.
And I'm thinking that we might even pack into that one some concept sketches and stuff that he's done up for it, just to really, really hit home the
Oh
fact
yeah,
that it
for
is
sure.
a collector's item. Yeah.
That would be awesome. I love seeing concept art. And I mean, I would love to see the concepts of these characters, man. And kind of like the evolution, because that's what I love. I love character design in comics and in anything really. And with that, a lot of the times you get a cool look at how the character has evolved over time, which really
Absolutely.
interests me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is crazy. What's going on with this chick's eye? Is that a spoiler?
So this is actually a nightmare sequence that's unfolding before Chief Barron, our main character. That's just a picture of him without the fish mask on. So that's what he looks like. And what he's seeing here is this apparition of his daughter in front of him. And as she turns slowly toward him, what's revealed on the other side of her face is this monstrous overgrowth of, grotesque creepiness. And
Yeah.
she turns more and more to him, and eventually just erupts into this creaturely vision. So it's, again, there's a lot of nightmare sequences within this. By nightmarish, we really aren't over exaggerating.
No, yeah, that is so cool. Really surreal. Yeah, I can't wait for these nightmare sequences. And I
Yeah, they're
hope that
pretty awesome.
it seems like it's going to be an overarching theme throughout the issues going forward. Because you were talking about how in other issues you're going to be exploring different characters in the universe, which I like. It's kind of like building this big lore and legacy
Yeah.
of everything.
Totally. It's really less about the main character KOZOR and about all the characters that surround that focal figure. So that's what we're most excited about. Like in issue 2, Chief Barron is still in it, of course, the guy that you're looking at here on the
Yeah.
front, but there's also a lot of other characters that are introduced that play vital roles within this world. So yeah, man, we're super excited and very invested. This is the first time that Corey actually wrote his own comic book. And when I read it, I was totally blown away by what was coming out of this kid's head. I was like, one, I didn't know you could write a story this well structured. And two, this is just awesome. Like, this is right up my alley. I love horror. I love I love Conan, Game of Thrones, that kind of stuff. So this is great.
Yeah, it's so cool. We got a few people watching the chat here. If you guys are new to the channel, please hit that sub button. We do these interviews, try to do them once a week on Wednesdays, sometimes on the weekends as well. And hit that like and ring the bell for notifications. So this is the main character of this book. What's his name again?
Chief Barron.
Chief Barron. Yeah, that's right. Now it looks to me like, does he have some facial damage going on here?
Yeah, he's actually missing an eye.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Are we gonna to see that unfold, or is that something that is gonna be addressed in later issues?
There's a lot of things that are addressed in later issues, actually. So you don't actually see how he gets that sea monster mask in this issue, but you will later on find out how that battle went down and exactly how it led to him constructing his costume out of his defeated foes. So yeah, man, I mean, this is definitely a story in and of itself that you're going to really enjoy, but it doesn't end there. This is really only the beginning. It's almost a prelude to something much greater.
Yeah, no, that's what I love about comics specifically. The kind of, you could have these small stories, but when you take a step back, it's this big woven quilt of lore that you'll get over time. That I think you get that with Berserk. I think Mignola really did a great job with Hellboy in that as well, where his were kind of like these one shots you could read, or maybe like something that was like 3 issues. That was a little story arc, but he would drop hints of things that when you would come back 5-10 years, then you'd see this big story of Hellboy and how he's progressed. And the cool thing about that also is Hellboy, the story is sequential to the dates it was released, right? So like it started in the 90s, and that's where their starting point was. And then, when, I mean, he's back now, but when he died and went to hell, all of those years took up time, where they even had characters that were babies in the 90s, and then they grew up. And there's one character, Alice, who actually he saves as a child, and then she
Wow.
comes on the team when she's like in her 20s.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so that was awesome to see, and that's something that was a big inspiration with doing these like small stories that would connect into an overarching arc. So
yeah, it turns it into like this real living world, you know?
Yeah.
It's
for sure. Yeah, and it
so
looks like
enthralling.
you guys have that already, man. This just the way you guys speak about this book, it seems
Thanks,
like
man.
this is a world within itself. I'm really digging it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So everybody, definitely back this. You guys are into your second day, basically. 29 days left. You're already at $10,000, and that is amazing. You guys are, these guys are hardworking brothers. They're streaming all the time, and I know this is not going to be the last stream you are going to see them on. This month they're going to be hustling around.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And it's always a pleasure to hang out with you guys. So
absolutely, man.
You guys definitely check this out. Go watch the trailer again and pledge, because this is something special, something that I haven't seen before in comics. I don't think. This is something crazy, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's a unique kind of story. Looking at everything else that's coming out of Comicsgate, and there is a lot of really amazing stories, but I think that KOZOR really is leading the way in terms of medieval horror and dark fantasy, and it's an honor to have this as kind of like the flagship comic book to be entering into that genre.
Yeah, I mean, you look at all the books coming out, and everything's so spread in genre. And even like if you're like looking at, just for example, like Magic Cop, that's a magic book, but all the other books that involve magic look nothing like Magic Cop. They're their own thing.
I mean, that's a unique book, though. That's a unique idea.
That's true. That's true. But even like something like Cyberfrog and Oddity, they're two books that have characters that are frogs, but they're so far from each other. One's dealing with a giant invasion, and Oddity is like this kind of like teenage superhero, like Spider-Man. He's like this mutant guy. So everything that is being pushed to the forefront is vastly different from each other. And this one just looks top-notch quality, man.
Thanks, man.
The thing that I love about it is there was a lot of care and time spent on it, over, these years that Corey has been developing it and making it happen, even to the fact where now you are going and, fixing some colors and stuff and enhancing some things on top of it. So it's still being hammered away. And that's what I love to see, especially, as myself as a writer. I think you need to spend time with your characters to actually know who they are, what they would do in different situations. And you guys are showing that that's what you're doing. That's what Corey's done.
For sure, man. Absolutely. We're perfectionists at the end of the day, so we can't help it.
Yeah.
It's not connected to how much we get funded either. Like, probably there's no way in the world we'll ever be able to considering the time that's gone into it, the amount of financial gain wouldn't ever be equivalent. So, but that's the thing. We don't do it for that reason. And it's funny because if Corey was the only one who backed this thing and got himself a comic book of KOZOR, he'd be happy with that. It wouldn't stop him creating KOZOR issue 3. So I think when you're coming from that place and you're seeing that genuine passion being injected into the book, that's what draws other people in, man. It's just, and it builds up from there. It's a snowball effect. This campaign is, Corey has even just said it to me this morning. He said, this campaign is going to allow him to do so many more things with KOZOR now.
Yep.
So.
Oh, for sure, man. And since we've been on, you picked up 2 backers. So
sweet,
hey, everybody, whoever, if they were in my chat, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I have one last question. Now, this is not KOZOR, but we're gonna be introduced to that character Is he going to look as cool as this guy? Because this guy looks pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, so KOZOR is actually the dude down in the bottom right corner
Oh,
of
this is
that
him?
page. Yeah, that's
I
him.
didn't know that. Okay, cool.
Now, Corey doesn't like it when I talk too much about who KOZOR is
Right.
and the role he plays within the book. But let me just put it to you this way. His power is on a god level, right? Like he's one heck of a character. Again, I can't give away spoilers on this
Sure.
dude, but he's awesome. Corey has told me about what ends up happening in the story and how it unfolds, and it is something which is mind-blowing. He's got one of the most unique powers that I think I've ever seen. I don't know how Corey came up with it or what inspired it, but
Well,
yeah,
it looks
that's
like
awesome.
he's pretty popular with the ladies, which is good.
Yeah, he is.
Get a
He's a
character like that.
popular dude.
That's awesome, man.
But so is Chief Barron, as you'll find out in the book.
Oh, good. Yeah, dude, his costume design's so cool.
Thanks, man.
That
Hey,
guy.
that's Corey's costume design. I mean, he's a killer concept artist in his own right.
Yeah, for sure. Runs in the family. I see. That's good stuff.
Yeah, we're always bouncing ideas off of one another, helping each other out, asking for feedback on the stuff that we're doing. So it's really, as I'm sure you know, it's an advantage to have a brother that you can work with on these projects.
Yeah, I think so, for sure. Yeah, and if you don't mind, I was just going to check in with the Lost Pages, talk a little bit about
Yeah,
that.
go
and
ahead,
then head
man.
off.
For sure.
Cool. Let's see here. Yeah. So yeah, the Lost Pages, we ended last night, and I think we made probably another extra $100 today, maybe a little bit
Amazing.
more. And yeah, we're going to be in demand past fulfillment as well. So you guys definitely should jump on here because we are so close to hitting 4K, and then our next stretch goal, which is 24K. The next stretch goal will be 25,000, and it's going to unlock the final bonus comic story with our character Matt Black. She is a young college student who discovers she has new powers. She's kind of our take on a X-Men character, like a young mutant. And she kind of breaks into our younger heroes of the Lost Pages. There's going to be a team that is going to spring from that in the future, kind of like our young X-Men, if you will. And I'm so excited to do those characters because I've never really written a team book, and I know it's going to be a challenge, but I'm really excited to do that because there's a lot of cool personalities in there, especially their youthful aspect to that. So we got to get to 25K so we can unlock that story and see where that
Heck
goes.
yeah.
Yeah, we just unlocked this double page spread wrap around cover for the bonus comic. I'm gonna have it colored, and it's actually going to be colored by the same colorist that colored the Simon Bisley cover. So
Nice.
it's going to be killer Joe Ball's inks with Adam Brown's colors. I can't wait for that. Yeah, man.
That's badass, man.
Thanks.
Sick cover.
Yeah, I can't believe we unlocked that, and we got the Bisley cover. Everything is just going the way that it needs to go, and I couldn't be happier. We were talking about this yesterday, and I made a post on Facebook and Twitter. I actually added up all of the creators that we're working with, and it's like 24 creators if I include myself. And I put them all on the bottom here of the campaign so you guys could go look at all their names, every different thing they're doing. And it'll be, even more if we unlock that 25th or 25,000, because look at all these names, dude.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah.
Insane.
That is crazy.
Very, very cool. So much talent there, man.
So it's been a hell of a ride. It's like something that I didn't really think of as we were doing it. It's just like, oh yeah, I could, I would love to work with this guy. Let's see if he would do that. And, you're not going to get anywhere if you don't ask questions. If you don't ask, hey, you want to do this trading card for me? Would you be able to do a sketch card, stuff like that? And I've been very fortunate that people trust me, and
Yeah,
they know
man.
that we're going to put something out on time. So
Hey,
yeah.
that's really something that you're quite good at. That's a talent of yours, Phil.
Thanks, brother.
You're good at reaching out to people.
For sure, yeah. Thanks everyone that backed this and helped make this happen. And if you guys haven't, then check it out. Definitely back it. And if you have, then spread the word. If you have buddies that maybe aren't really into comic skates, show them the book, and maybe we could get them on board, because we're making some awesome progress and awesome comics over here. Just like Corey and Clayton are doing with KOZOR. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, where
Thank
could
you.
people find you, man? Show your YouTube channel and everything you're doing.
Yeah, man. So it's just how to draw comics for everything, how to draw comics on YouTube, how to draw comics on Instagram, Facebook, and of course, Twitter. So yeah, we're easy to find. We've also got a Barton Bros page on Facebook as well,
Nice.
and a Barton Bros website where you can check out all the creator interviews we've done with various comicscape people, such as Phil here, on the site. We've uploaded it there.
Sweet.
And yeah, everything that you could want to know about as far as what we're working on at Barton Bros Studios, we try to update everybody through that avenue.
That's perfect, man. And William C has a question here. What genre are you going to do, Clayton? I think he's talking about for your own comic.
Yeah, so I'm doing a sci-fi comic book predominantly for Renegade Alpha. There is some horror elements in it. I would say if you think about within the realm of Aliens and RoboCop and The Fly, that's kind of what I'm going for with my book. I kind of love sci-fi horror. Corey loves the medieval horror stuff too.
That's awesome. That's something to look forward to, everybody, for sure. So yeah, follow him and his brother everywhere you can, and hop on over, sub to his YouTube channel, because you might see me there every once in a while.
Hell yeah, we love having you on, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's always a great time. Yeah, so everybody, please hit that like and subscribe. Back KOZOR, back the Lost Pages. We're bringing you some kick-ass comics, and ring that bell for notifications. We will see you next time here on Zaid Comics.